Hello, I'm Luke, and I've got a question for you. And it's a pretty big question, and it's probably one that I think many of us ask ourselves, and that's why are we here? And I know that's a pretty big question to kick off with, but I have reason for it. I think it's really important that as we begin our spiritual journey, let's call it that, and going through and trying to understand, well, what is the purpose of this whole thing, is to understand, well, why are we here, or why do we believe that we're here? Looking at my own journey, a lot of information that I've come across, we've had these preconceived ideas and these images in our mind, which has been built up from years of different types of religious and spiritual beliefs, that, potentially we have reincarnation, or we're here as a result of karmic debt, or maybe we are, this is just kind of it. It's built on science, and if it doesn't prove it, it doesn't exist, and then we're dead, and that's it, we're done. So there's all these different ones, and for me, it's got a huge sense of finality about it. A lot of stuff is either that we have a lot of regret because, we've done something terrible before, or if we do something terrible now, it's going to affect this heavenly place that we're going to, or it is nothing, and life is just life, and you have to just grind through it. For me, that's not enough. I don't know about you guys. I don't like it. I think it just sounds hideous, and it makes me want to, not be here. So as I've been doing research and looking at different things, I have been looking at, well, what is the theories of what happens next? What's in the afterlife? And it's a whole other conversation I guess we could have, but it's important to go there in order to come back to this question and come back to this space and kind of answer that. Part of looking at that, I've gone to our most recent revelation, our most recent spiritual text, which is through a prophet called Baha'u'llah. He is the prophet of the Bahai Faith, which is the most recent revelation if we're looking at the different types of religions. Founded around 200 years ago out of Persia. And the reason I like the Bahai Faith so much in terms of going and looking at a lot of their text is their foundations, for me, really resonate with my own personal values. My own relationship with God and the universe and all those sorts of things has been quite a turbulent one over my life. And a lot of the time I've rejected anything that remotely related to faith or religion. I just figured I can come up with my best values and move on from there. But there comes a point when I am merely a fallible human and I kind of need some more information. So going and searching for that, looking at a theory of life after death. And in that theory, it speaks about, what happens in this afterlife? What are we looking at beyond here? And the beautiful part and almost mysterious part about the faith is this talking of multiple worlds and what the next realm will look like, or next comprehension is another way to say it. The reason I'm telling you all this is because part of that conversation came out with a quote that I'm just going to read to you now, which was from Baha'u'llah in this in the gleanings from the writings. And the quote is, "The world beyond is as different from this world as this world is different from that of the child while still in the womb of the mother." Now just think about that for a minute. Why would a prophet be speaking about multiple worlds and saying that the next world is as different to us as is the world of a child in the womb of a mother? And this is really fascinating, and it goes on with, there's different writings that he has there. There's also something from Baha, which is the son of Baha'u'llah, and was, very well known for his writings and his talks to continue on his father's work. And they put it so beautifully to think, okay, so if we were to say that this world is as different to the next as the world of a child in a womb, what does that mean? Well, the child in a womb is growing its physical faculties. It's got 9 months. It's brought into this womb. It's got 9 months to get itself to a certain stage that before it is born, it's capable of coming into this world and living. Now, a lot of the text, and there's another quote that I could go through with you as well, speaks about how we have to build our faculties here for the divine world beyond. Now, putting that kind of logical information together, if the child in the womb is ineffectively its own universe. So it's in there, it's building its physical faculties. It has no idea that we're on the outside, just a layer of skin away. It has no idea what's feeding it and what's keeping it alive and what those noises are and how it stays so warm. It just simply knows if it does know anything, that it's existing within that universe. And then at its time of, I guess we could say death, but for us, the birth of the child, leaving its universe and coming into ours, it's met and rejoiced with love and care and kindness and, you know, hopefully in most cases. And it comes into this world with its physical faculties, ready to experience this human existence. So if that's in mind, and we're going on a theory that there's multiple worlds, and the next world we have to, and in every world we're preparing ourselves for the following, well, the information of a divine existence would then conclude that we're here to build our spiritual faculties. And for me, the reason why this resonates so much, and there's more writings about it, and again, there's so much information, I can't fit it into one video. But if we're building our spiritual faculties in this realm, then doesn't that make more sense around how we're all feeling? How many of you feel the same way as I do at times, where you are lonely and you are seeking more and you are looking for, there's got to be more, there's got to be more of a purpose to this? And what if we were to say that the purpose is coming back to your highest self, your most spiritual self? I believe we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So if we're already there innately in that space, and our job, our purpose in this life is to find our way back there, doesn't that take away from that sense of finality? Doesn't that kind of add to this idea that, well, there is actually more? There's more than what we think is going on. There's more to why we need to find the highest and best versions of ourselves. Now, there's theories and other, not theories, I shouldn't say theories, there's prophecies around what that looks like, and one of the biggest ones when it comes to the Bahai Faith is that, you know, you need to act on that. So the service, there's you know, good deeds in service. So a lot of it is built on finding yourself through serving others. Love that, just live by that and think it's fantastic. So why are we here? I'd love to hear your theories on it. I'd love to know where you seek this information from me. This really resonated with me. If we can't figure out why we are here, then let's figure out where we're going. So then maybe we can backtrack and see it. And when we do that, you know, if we're here to build our spiritual faculties and we're here to move ourselves beyond here through service, it just adds so much more value into your daily life. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Please comment, send me a message, send me an email, whatever it is. Fill me in on what your version of why we're here for. Let's come up with that together, and then let's move forward and think of what other questions and what other reasons we're here for.